Okay, hello. Here's a Drake T4X transmitter, which has a new home now with a fine gentleman in Missouri. So I'm getting this thing tested and packed up and off it goes. Good little transmitter, a very clean transmitter. This thing came from San Jose, California, and I got it from a guy at a Hamfest there at Pacificon. So, yep, good little guy. So the first thing about this thing is that you have to understand that when you go from SSB or AM to tune, you'll hear a relay click, you'll see some amps on the plate current. This circuit works by operating the Vox circuit, so it sounds convoluted, but that's how Drake did it. And so if this doesn't work right and key up, you have to fiddle with the Vox controls on the side. There's two controls here. You got to fiddle with those and get it to work correctly. So I did all that. The next thing you have to do is, if you get a new AC4 power supply for this thing, you got to set the bias to .75. So here I'll show you how that works. So you want to make sure you're not tuned up on any band. So just put this thing way down where it's not going to resonate, and go to tune. You see how I have a little bit of amperage, not much. You want to tune the plates, or tune the bias current, so these things are drawing about 0.75. So I can do that. I'll leave it on tune now. They're not drawing much, so come on down here to the power supply and find the bias control and crank this a bit. And take a peek at the meter. See what it did. It's not going up a whole lot. A little more. It's not going up, going the wrong way. Let's go back. And it's going up a little bit, so you want .75. Is that about right? No. A little more. I know we're in the ballpark. Okay, it's coming up a little bit. A little more. It's .5. A little more. And that's a little too much. Let's back it off. All right, that should be close enough. So there's our .75 right there. So go out of tune position now. And it'll kick off. All right, so to tune this thing then, we're going to do a check of each band for power output on CW. And there's our watt meter. Let's get started. So I'm on separate now. You can have the receiver control the tuning, or the transmitter itself, or go separate. So I'm going to use separate for now. That means that this PTO or VFO here will control this transmitter, because this is meant to be paired with the R4B or R4 or R4C. Right now we're not paired at all, so we're just checking the transmitter. Okay, I'm on separate. Let's take this to 80. Run 80 meters here. Take the drive here. This is actually a drive or gain control. Take this thing down a bit. And now we're going to go to tune and tune it for a peak around 80. If there's no peak, give it some drive. And it should peak up. Look, there it is. Okay, now I'll dip it real quick. You'll see power on the meter. There's about 30 watts in the meter. A little more load here. Peak it again. Okay, about 20-30 watts. Let's take it down again. Anyway, you don't want to cook this thing too long, so I don't like tuning because it's hard on the finals. Okay, so that's good. Not much drive. Take it off. And now I'm just going to crank up the drive and see how it goes. Here's the drive up. Let's transmit about 100 watts on 80 meters. Let's peak it some more. Load it. that's about 150 or so, and I'm not going to tax it out. I'm not going to go for max, so you got about 150 watts on 80 meters, and this looks like it's slow to decouple here, so that's a little bit of a worry. So you want to mess with the Vox controls if it's acting up like that. It finally shut down. Let's fiddle with the Vox controls back here again. It shouldn't hang like that. There we go. So we'll try it again. Okay, I've just fiddled with the Vox, so now it's more reasonable. It turns off as it should. All right, that's 80 meters. Let's go to 40 meters now. 40 meter band, 40 meter band. Take the drive down. Take the load down a bit, and now we'll just go for tune here. Go for a peak. No peak, more drive. There's a peak, dip it real quick. Quick. We got some power coming out. Let's try for more power. Okay, that's a lot. Let's go off. And I'm gonna crank it now. I'll let it drive and see what happens. Okay, it's about 100 watts on 40. Let's try for more. 100 watts, more load. Okay, I'm getting about 150 watts on 40, and that's all I'm gonna worry about. So that's working. I'm still getting some drag though on my on key here, which I don't like. It sometimes doesn't want to unkey. There it goes. Okay, let's go to 20 meters now. There we go. And I'm going to go for a peak here again, 20 meters. Go for a peak, there's one. Go for a dip. There's one. A little bit of power coming out, 20 watts. Let's crank it a little bit. 40 watts. It needs less load. Okay, about 40 watts. And it's, okay, let's crank it up real good with drive. And see what we get. Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, too much plate current, but I'm getting about on 20 meters, 110 watts. I could probably get more, but again, I'm not gonna stress the finals on this thing. Okay, so let's go to 15 meters and try for a peak there. Tune, peak it. There's the peak, the dip. It was dipped pretty good. I'm seeing about 30 watts on 15. And there's about 40. Okay, let's turn it off. Go for power. Let's key it now. 90 watts. Dip it. Okay. Okay, about 120 watts on 15, and I'm not going to push it. You could probably get more, but don't want to push it. And this thing stays keyed sometimes, which is really aggravating. Okay, on key. And why not? Okay, there it goes. Let's go to 10 meters. There's 10. Let's peek it. You can tell I'm not really in the mood to tune radios today. Just not doing too well. Okay, on 10, we're going for a peak, going for a dip. There's a big dip right there. 30 watts on 10. Give it some more load. Okay, let's just cook it now. Okay, so I can go for 100 watts on 10. 110 watts when I crank the power up. And that's all I'm going to worry about. That proves 10 works. That's enough. So, yep, the radio goes. All right, so the next test might be, go back to 40 meters here. 40 meters, 40 meters, whoops, 40 meters. Let's tune it on 40 a little bit. Okay, let's go for a peak here on 40. Am I on 40? Yes, I am. A little more gain there. Okay, there's a peak. Quick little tune there. Okay, so 40 is up and running. We have about 80 watts on 40. Take that down. Let's do some more load. Anyway. Okay, on 40, how much can I get again? 100 watts. Okay, there's about 150 watts in 40. That's enough. Okay, so 40 is tuned up. We're tuned up in a good popular area of the band. Now it's time to put a mic on. So to run SSB, you go to SSB mode. You put your gain. This is also SSB and mic gain. So we're going to put a mic on here and check it out. So let's find a mic. Microphone with a connector that works on that thing. That's this mic over here. D104 mic. This one's amplified with an amp on the bottom. You can tell by the screw there. Let's plug this guy in. And the microphone, I think, is in the front. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Now when I key the mic and talk, I should get plate current. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how sideband looks. A dummy load, 1, 2, 3. It proves that it works. And now if you take this down, of course, it'll have hardly any sideband. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just bias. You take this up a little ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you basically want to crank this thing up when you're talking and just get it comfortable. Don't distort, but have it at a good level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I suppose I could check the sideband with cubic SDR, but I'm not going to do that. So that's about it for the radio, how to work it on sideband. For CW, you will go to CW mode and you'll put a key in. If there's no key in, it'll transmit in that mode. Once the key is in, it won't transmit until the key is pressed. And that's how to run the radio, the transmitter. So I will go into the next video on how to connect these together and run them as a pair. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day.